get your take on what's underway with China, Congressman, because the Senate voted last night to add both the Biosecure Act and the Fight China Act to the National Defense Authorization Act. Both measures would block federal funding for certain Chinese biotech companies. It would also ban U.S. investments into sensitive Chinese sectors like the military and things like that. Last year's version of the Biosecure Act was dropped from the final defense policy bill over concerns about naming specific companies. I do think this is in response to what China is doing to the United States, and that is tightening the export controls on rare earth minerals. So this fight is getting deeper. Your reaction?
Well, it's a really important move, Maria. We came close last year in the NDAA, as you pointed out, to getting that amendment passed. There were some members who had concerns with how it was structured, so the amendment got restructured, but it gives the administration the ability to block certain Chinese companies. And look, China has said they'll even use biotech as a weapon against their enemies. Well, you know, biotech, look at what happened at the Wuhan lab. I mean, this is a concern we need to have. We did this, by the way, a few years ago with technology companies. You know, you think about Huawei and ZTE, some of the big companies that you route a lot of your data through when you send text messages. Most people don't realize a lot of that was going through Chinese companies, and the Chinese Communist Party was getting access to the data of Americans. Our Defense Department was even using some of those systems, and we finally blocked that. This is one more step to protect America's national security.
Well, you've got a lot of levers to pull here on the economic side. I mean, China is obviously digging in. They're trying to get more leverage going into this meeting with President Trump and Xi Jinping, which is expected on October 31st on the sidelines of the APEC summit. And they're doing it now, 3 weeks before that meeting. You could be talking about removing Chinese companies from U.S. exchanges, putting bans on, you know, investors putting money into Chinese companies that are tied to the military. Are you considering what else to do to stop China from this aggression?
Yeah, and you've seen this over and over, you know, with companies like TikTok that collect the data from millions, hundreds of millions of American people, especially our young people, in ways that even those people don't even realize the Chinese Communist Party is getting access to their data. So we've continued to take steps to counter China's aggression. China goes after us in many different ways. You saw them buying land near military bases and other secure locations. So we've got to stay on pace with them. They're being very, very aggressive. I'm glad President Trump is standing up to China and all the bad guys around the world. If you want to be an adversary of the United States, this is not a good time to do it.